What's going on, guys? We got more Valaric Vorid figures, and they look pretty neat. People have been saying, oh, they look like hunters, they look like snipers, yada yada yada. Well, here we're looking really close. Yeah, he kind of looks like a hunter in a way. Uh, he has a metal arm and a big giant metal thing on his backpack, and yeah, he's just a big round furry dude. And then you got like a rabbit type dude with like a sniper looking here. They look really cool. Like their weapons and stuff, they look really cool. Especially the rabbit one to me. But let's go down here. Valaric. So, Eisen Expedition. So another unique. They're all uniques in this Secrets of the Citadel here. But they got 5 move, that's normal. 7 range, that's long, especially for renegade stuff. 1 attack, very bad. 3 defense, average. 75 points for 3 figures. For those stats seem really bad, but let's see what else they have in a second here. Vorid, unique squad, scout, precise. So I think scout goes with like vipers in a way, stuff like that. But let's see the powers here. Expeditionary force. Before taking a turn with them, you may first take a turn with a Vorid or Scientist hero you control. Add 1 to that hero's move value during that turn. Ooh. That part's really cool. So, if you pick Kane to bond with them, he could walk around and stomp on something a little farther because he gets more move. Lots of those Vorids have range, and so range bonding with range, even though they're just unique, is quite nice, and you can kind of keep them in the background and maybe use Gimbal or something to stomp on some things. Gimbal's a scientist. Gimbal could move 1 more, and then have a better chance to fireline stuff or hit 2 targets with the claws or something. Cause chaos while they're sniping from the background. Well, let's keep reading. Yeah, there's a lot of choices for bonding there. But well equipped, they may choose to ignore all effects from terrain tiles they move onto or occupy other than molten lava. So even the toxic water and toxic land and lava that's not molten, they can ignore all that. They can ignore water and snow and ice so they don't have to slow down. They can stand on height if there is, like I said, the non-molten lava and uh, the toxic water and land that normally gives people negative defense. So they could get height where other people, if they want to take that spot, would get weakened in some way, or they'd have to hop off. They don't have to hop off. They can just take it and not worry about it because of their gear. So that is actually pretty sweet. Because lots of maps, lots of tournaments have things like that, and I think they're gonna have more because of the toxic land and water. So then the final thing that makes their 1 attack not so pitiful. When the figures attack a non-adjacent figure, if they did not move this turn, like if the individual figure didn't, just like with the bears with running, you don't have to do all of them to make this work, just the one that's doing it. Then they get to add 2 to their attack value. So best case scenario for these guys, you have Zed Nesbit. I forget, I think he might move 6 maybe, but I'm not sure on that. But basically they give him 1 more move so he can fly over, grab them, drop them off. They can not move. So if he drops them off on height and then they don't move, all of a sudden they got attacks of 4 at a range of 7, sniping down on people. And Zed can, of course, do his thing. And then you can start bonding with somebody else if you want, or you can move Zed out to blow up somebody's start zone and make somebody focus on Zed while these guys are sniping and picking people off for a while. Because if you're the enemy, you want to take out at least 1 of these or 2 to make them a lot less useful and impactful. but like with all uniques, you know. Um, but if you do that and Zed's in your start zone blowing everything up, you're gonna lose. But if you go after Zed first, these guys are gonna pick off a few things, so kind of rough. Could be a good combo. We'll see how that works out. So people are talking bad about them, but I think in the right play, they might be able to fill 75 points, maybe. Um, with those bigger attacks, I think that's pretty good. Um, so let me know what you guys think. For the people that have been sad about how the Vorids have been so weak all the time, again, this is another unique one. And this was one that was drawn up in the design, so this isn't a Renegade like idea. They're still using here an idea that already existed from Avalon Hill. So if you don't like it, don't blame Renegade, blame Avalon. But you can blame both a little maybe. But I think they could make a nice little splash army that you can add something onto, especially in lower figure limits. So yeah, let me know what you think on these. See you guys in the next one.